Well, we do have a quorum, so I'm going to
Oh,
say
yeah. Sure do.
that why don't we start? I've got 5:31, and let me get my paperwork. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March regular meeting of the Historic District Commission. I'm Timothy Dowen. I'm the chairman. Please note that this meeting is being recorded. If you're not speaking, please have yourself on mute to prevent any background noises. And Greg Farlow, you can keep yourself in and out there, whatever. And never mind. Our meeting tonight will be broken up into two sections, the public hearing and the regular meeting. The public hearing is the opportunity for the applicants to present their application and for the commission members to ask questions. Once excuse me, I'm admitting, I think Nancy's assistant here. While she comes in, I'll continue on. Once the public hearing closes, the regular meeting will begin. And that regular meeting is where the commission discusses the vote and votes on those applications. Applicants can stay and listen to the regular meeting, but the applicants are not permitted to speak or provide more information regarding their application at that time. It's not required that applicants, stay during the regular meeting, and we won't hold it against you if you've got better things to do. All applicants will receive a written notification regarding our decisions on the next business day. Thank you all. Do I have any questions? Hearing none, I will bring the public hearing to order here. Looks like we have 3 COAs on the agenda here. Does anyone have any time constraints? Hearing none, then we'll just go in order. And I do now have one more. Jake is just starting in here. So I think we have full contingency here. So we will start with COA 511. 511. This is the Society of the Founders of Norwich. Regan Miner in the NHS will as the presenter here, and it's for 2 Town Street. This is for roofing, perimeter, reconstruction, fixtures, and other work. And I hope everyone has the application in place here. So Regan and or Dane or whoever is going to present, I open the floor.
Sure. So I'm going to take off my HDC hat and put on my NHS hat for this presentation. And I can start, and Dane, if you have anything to chime in, or Greg, feel free to do so. But I figured I'd start with the overview. As you guys know from the last meeting, when we presented the porch reconstruction project for the Greenleaf House, the Society of the Founders of Norwich and the Norwich Historical Society are working very closely together to seek grant funding to restore the Greenleaf House, which is located adjacent to the Leffingwell House Museum. The address is 2 Town Street. We've amassed a significant amount of funding in order to do this, which is great. And our project is starting to move forward at this point. We last month got the COA for the porch reconstruction, and this month we're looking for further improvements to the exterior of the property, including the site as well. So I want to just kind of go over what I've outlined in the COA. So part of our intent is to create or install a shed roof over the door, which is at the lower basement level of the property. And there's photos attached to where you can see the lower basement level of the building. Currently, there is no shed roof over the door, but we wanted to add a shed roof to encourage people to access the building from that level and also protect from the weather elements, etc. So that shed roof will have a zinc coated copper roofing. Also on the basement level of the building, on the exterior, we're planning to install 6-inch wide horizontal shiplap board siding. We'll paint it the existing color of the building. And also we will be creating custom-made windows, and they'll be installed in the lower basement level as well. There'll be wood windows, custom fit for that space. And we're also planning on installing a wood sliding barn door as the door fixture, so people can go in and out, and also add a lot of extra light as well. So we'll have glass doors on the inside, and then the barn doors will be protecting those glass doors. So it'll be a nice way for access. So that's the building itself, what we're doing. Moving forward on the site plan that is also included in the application, where our goal is to make the lower basement level of the Greenleaf House handicapped accessible. So therefore, we're going to be creating a handicapped accessible parking spot on the property. It has to be concrete because that's what ADA code entails us to do here. And we'll be adding a concrete path, handicapped accessible path to get to the building as well. We are intending to add a patio down the road to the Greenleaf House. This will probably be concrete as well to be consistent with the material that we're already using for the handicapped parking spot and handicapped walkway. So there'll be a patio to kind of the right-hand side of the door there. In addition, we're looking to create some sort of connection between the Leffingwell House and the Greenleaf House. We haven't completely figured out what that wants to be. Maybe it's a little bridge, maybe it's just a cut stairwell into the retaining wall to get from one property to the other. We're still working with our architect and contractor on that, but I wanted to mention that. In addition to the handicapped accessibility of the site, we're going to be adding some arborvitae privacy plantings between the Greenleaf House and the neighbors next door, just to add a nice demarcation for the barrier between the two properties and add a little bit of privacy between them. The parking area, which is basically the yard for the Greenleaf House, is going to be grass. However, we're considering including, but budget dependent, let's put it that way, budget dependent, installing turf reinforcement matting underneath the grass, so that we ultimately want this space to be multi-purpose. So there's some times where there may be reenactors who have an encampment back there, or other times it may be utilized for overflow parking. So we wanted to make sure we don't rip up the grass every time we use it. So we're looking into turf reinforcement matting underneath, which then the grass will loam and everything and have the grass grow on top. So that's kind of our overview in a nutshell. I attached some photos of what everything looks like right now, and I included the architect's rendering for the lower basement level and the site plan as well. So I'm happy to answer questions, or if Dane or Greg want to add anything, you guys are welcome to.
So I'll ask one question there. The on the site plan, and forgive me, I've got new computer here and I'm jumping all around and it's trying to find this. Arborvitae along the whole length of the neighbor's line here, I guess. That's not shown necessarily, the plantings. There's a couple plantings there, but obviously not the arborvitae, correct?
Yeah, we decided about the arborvitaes a little bit later after the site plan was completed. So basically, we're going to be working with the landscape architect to help figure out exactly where those arborvitaes should go. But essentially, we want them to go like basically the length of the property to enhance our privacy.
Okay. Yep. And then the connection between that patio, which is next to the handicapped access, over to the other one is still not, that's in flux.
We're
because that's
probably, yeah,
correct. There's a,
yeah, what we're probably going to do is have a staircase there. We're probably going to kind of demo that that section at least of the retaining wall and add a staircase. That's the plan at this moment. So it's probably going to happen that way. Someone had mentioned, in the past doing like a floating bridge or something cool, but I think just budget conscious is going to have to be a different option.
oh, gotcha. But that's not a handicap one. That's just a connection between the two properties.
Yeah, it wouldn't be handicapped accessible. It would just be a way to easily access, one property to the other. If they wanted the handicapped access, they just have to go all the way around and enter via the rear of the Greenleaf House.
Right. Okay. Other questions? All right, I'll ask one more. Obviously the rendering looks, for the plans for the lower level, windows will mimic the upper windows on the first and second floor. It looks
Correct,
like.
yeah. Yep,
And,
correct. They're all wood windows, custom made.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, I'll continue on. And the doors, are those like a sliding door, French door? How's that?
Yeah,
The entryway?
we're looking into doing a French door and have the barn sliding doors protect the French doors.
Right.
And so the barn doors will be on the exterior. I'm not sure exactly how the contractor is going to fix the French doors, maybe from the inside, but basically the viewpoint will be the barn door from the outside,
Okay.
and those will be wood.
And check me if I'm wrong, those steps to the left leading up to the street level, those do not exist, correct? On the,
Yes, those don't exist. That's basically just an indication of the elevation right there, because it's a very steep grade. And so I don't believe those are actual steps. I believe that's just to show the different levels of the grade right there, but we weren't planning on installing steps.
I'm sorry, you are planning on doing steps?
No, we're not doing steps right there.
Oh,
We weren't planning on that.
Gotcha. All right. That's, yeah, I guess that's my misinterpretation. Sorry.
No, it's
All right.
okay.
All right. Any other questions? Is there any details to the support for the roofing? Other than we have the tin roof, but the two side supports. Is there any detail that was available or anything, or it's just a basic support?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything specific.
Nothing decorative or anything. Okay,
No, we weren't going to do anything decorative. No.
gotcha.
So, excuse me, the lower level plan number 3, the stairwell on the left as we're facing it, that won't be there.
Yeah, we weren't going to do that, Craig.
Okay, no,
That's
that's fine.
just to show the
It doesn't go
elevation.
anywhere.
Yeah, it's just to show the elevation of
But
the.
Okay.
It
Understood.
shows it on the top down plan too, though, showing steps along the side of the building.
Mhm.
Are you talking about the left-hand side of the building?
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
It looks like there's
I-
another retaining wall and steps up the side.
I mean, maybe I'm looking at the wrong spot, but I just see that it's saying that we're regrading it to direct the surface flow away from the building. I may be looking in a different spot than you are, Greg, so I could be
Well,
in the. wrong
Just to the
spot.
right of that arrow, it says steps.
I don't know why I'm not seeing that, but you could be
which
thinking.
plan is
be-
it?
You could
Page
be thinking the
6.
Plan 6?
Uh,
I got
It's-
4.
it's proposed site plan 4, which is page 6 of the
Okay.
document. And if you
Okay, right.
look up at the top to the left of the building, there's an arrow pointing to the slope that says regrade is needed.
Steps,
And then just to the right of that arrowhead, it says steps.
right.
You're probably seeing where it says the concrete steps for the handicapped pathway, because we're having a handicap ramp, and then we're also having steps for people who may not need the ramp to get into the building as well. So that's what I think you may be looking at.
No, I'm looking at the steps that are
Yeah,
written
I'm seeing it.
to the wall,
Yeah,
not in the box, not in the call out box. It says steps written at a vertical angle.
yeah. Next to existing building.
Well, we were considering doing the staircase, like I mentioned, between the two buildings, the Leffingwell House Museum and the Greenleaf House. So that will be stairs, like a staircase. We'll do some demo of that retaining wall to create the stair here. but we're not putting stairs to the left of the Greenleaf house.
All right,
Okay.
All right. Okay,
good presentation.
yes. Very good detail here. Nancy, I just wanted to double check, do a comms check with you. Are you, okay, good. We hear you. Thank you.
I don't know, can you? I don't know.
I could hear you, Nancy, so we're good. All right. So any last questions? All right, thank you. And we will then move to COA 512. This is 34 East Town. This is the UCFS Healthcare. Jennifer Granger, I know Pam Kinder's here, and she has the contractors with us. This is for restoration of windows. So
Yes,
I will open it up.
All right. Well, good evening. This is an ongoing project. We started several years ago and finally got some funding, so we're doing it in phases. So there's 70 windows in this building. We just completed 20 windows, and this is for the additional 22 that we have funding for. So any questions that you have the document. I think I detailed the timeline. If you have any questions, that's why I asked the Cooper Group to come. They're the ones, our contractor, who will be continuing this project. And then hopefully we'll continue to get money to finish the remainder of the windows.
Just a quick question. I mean, maybe I'm not remembering, but I thought we had approved all the windows before. Is this, so I'm not sure what the change is.
You did approve, once we saw how beautiful the windows that we chose to do, the 6/6, we decided to try to match the windows throughout the whole entire building, and that's what we're asking permission to do.
Okay, because the ones in the back, I think were not divided, correct?
Yeah, I think they were gonna be 4/4s.
Okay,
But, and so we like the way it looks. We wanted it to be uniform. So really what we're asking for is that opportunity.
so basically all of the windows would then be the same. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. But
Got it.
Ken, feel free to interject if I'm misrepresenting something.
No, that's pretty much it right there. I mean, we're just, it's just a continuation of what we did on the front, done in the same manner. Remove the existing sash and replacing with new all wood. And in the same manner we did in the beginning.
It will be. Where's the clicker? The TV.
We've got someone trying to interject here. I'm not sure what, Samsung SM. But at any rate, how many windows of the total? I can't remember
So
exactly
we've
how
done
many.
20. This next phase will be 22. So that'll be 42 of the 70. So again, we're hoping just to continue on. If you give us approval, I think, as we get funding, we can continue to move forward with the approval. If you give us the approval tonight, we'll continue to follow that format going through to finish the project.
Right. I think the timeline came up on this one. I can't remember when this was last approved, and then typically it's a 6-month time frame that was coming due, and you were worried about that to try to get the extension, I think. So
Yes.
And
the Cooper Group is very busy. So, when we previously met and went over the contract, they're talking probably towards the fall to be able to do this project, unless they're, they can expedite it a little bit, but they're very busy. So the 6 months is going to be important. And I think we can start within the 6-month period, but it's just a continuation of the project that we're currently doing.
Understood. Yeah. Okay. And again, all wood windows. And all of them mimicking what was previous, the 20 that already were going in the style.
Yes, and they look beautiful.
Yes, they do. Okay. Do we have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I'm good. Mhm.
The windows that were installed, Pam, they came out fabulous, and you've got a great contractor as well. So good, very good job all around. They look stunning.
And I would be remiss if Regan has been part of this process from several years and iterations of windows and contractors and things being discontinued. And then all of a sudden we found the Cooper Group, and I can't recommend them. They're fantastic. Their work and quality and communication is just fabulous. So the other thing is, I don't know if you need to know this, OSHA has required that any window work have lead testing. So we will be doing at this part of the phase, doing some lead testing through Mystic Air Quality also.
Lead testing on windows. Replacing glass.
You already went somewhere now.
That's something new the state came
Please
up
mute
with.
yourself, Greg.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna talk.
And you did not do the lead testing on the first 20?
We didn't have to.
Have
They
to.
just, yeah, we have to now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a new OSHA rule.
I assume that'll just mean more, if you do find lead, then shroud it and take the
Yes.
appropriate
We'll follow
measures.
the proper protocol and before we do anything.
Right. Okay. Do I hear any further questions?
I'm all set. Looks
All
good.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Pam. Thank you.
All right. Have a great night. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And you will hear something
Thank you.
tomorrow. Yeah. All right. That will do then. 13. This is 16 Huntington Lane. It's Donald, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing Michelle's. This came in near the time limit here of getting this in. So thankfully they were able to get this in, but do we have a representative to present?
I'm here with Donald Michaels. Can you hear me?
I can,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure I was doing it correctly. So good. That's a good thing. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, and this is to install a generator. We have medical issues why we need a generator here. And so I believe everyone has the application. So I'll open or let you make your presentation.
Okay. Well, my dog wants to interject here. So we are installing a generator. We are asking to install a generator. We're going to put it behind the garage. Originally, it had years ago been approved to go out front, but I really didn't want to see it or have anybody else see it and then have to try and camouflage it. So we decided to place it in the back where it wouldn't be visible from the street. And that seemed to be the best option for us. It's further away from, everything. So, they're going to have to run the gas line and the electric line, but it's worth it to us to have it in the back. And Don had a stroke 8 years ago, and he uses we've installed an elevator in the house, a personal elevator, and he uses an oxygen concentrator at night. And, both of them require electricity. We know that Norwich electricity is very reliable, but on the off chance that something happens, we just feel like it's worth it for him to have.
Can't be trapped on the floor.
Okay. All right. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, I had one question. In the pictures that in the pictures you submitted showing the back of the house,
Yep.
there's a unit back there. Is that an existing generator or is that a heat pump?
That's the generator in question. It's sitting there waiting for approval. So that is the item, and it'll, you know, be connected and, you know, installed with you guys approving it and also the town approving it.
Okay, so that's already actually there. That is the generator. Okay.
Yep.
Yes,
And you're gonna
they've
move
been
that,
hard, they've been hard to get, and he was able to get one, so I said, let's purchase it, you know, so that we have it. They've been
And
on
you-
back order.
and you intend to move that behind that other structure you see, the brown, with the, I guess, concrete base?
That's
Whoa.
negative. That's
No?
a separate building. That's the back barn. It's right behind the garage now, the attached
Yeah,
garage.
I see it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's already been installed because again of the health
Right.
issues could at hand. So
That's
you
just after fact.
you
Okay,
can't see it at all from the street.
fine, okay.
Right.
There it is, and there it sits, fine.
And we just had a request from our minutes taker. Could you just confirm who was speaking, please? Is that Karen Scuddy?
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Sorry, I missed that. Thank you, Greg. I'm
problem.
flip-flopping back and forth. I'm down to one screen. Now that I'm retired, they took all my monitors away from me. So
That's not nice.
I know. But
I
it's
thought
it's nice being retired.
Because you used to just call in on your phone.
Well, that's true. That's true. But at any rate, now I'm trying to keep track of everything here. So, all right. Do we have any other questions?
So I haven't been by the house in a little while. This is Regan with a quick question. Do you think is the unit visible from, like, if you're walking on the sidewalk? Would it be visible from that angle? I understand that if you're facing the street, it's not visible, but I'm just curious if you're walking down the street in either direction, if it may be visible or not.
No, I purposely wanted it in a place where it would not be visible from anywhere. They'd have to walk behind my house to see it.
Right.
So, and that's what I really wanted. I didn't, you know, it's not an attractive thing. And, you know, I'm a purist and I like everything to look nice, and I didn't want to have a problem with that, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. The only recommendation I would have said, if you could do like some, green screening or like some plantings to cover it, but if you can't see it from either angle of the street, then you're probably fine.
Mhm.
It's only the ducks that can see it, right?
It's what?
It's only the ducks that can probably see
Oh,
it.
the
correct?
ducks, yes, the ducks can see it, yeah.
Mm.
And you know, it's hard to hide those things because they really don't want you to plant things very close to them because
Right.
of the output of, I guess, heat or something, and it kills the plants. So I just thought, you know what, it's worth it to pay extra to have it run and be in the back, and nobody's gonna see it. We don't have to camouflage it and hide it because, you know, it's just icky.
Mhm.
That's a technical term, icky.
Okay.
Sounds good. I have no further questions.
I have no further questions.
All right. Last Nichols, last questions. Hearing none, I will close out the public hearing at
Mhm.
5:59. And again, all the applicants are welcome to hang on and listen to our discussions here and our actions, or you can, if you've got other work or other things to do, I will make sure that you are notified tomorrow of our actions. So
Mhm.
it's now 6:00. We will go into our regular meeting. And first item is actions on these COAs. We'll take them as they were presented. I
Yeah.
will entertain a motion on COA 511. This is 2 Town Street, the Norwich Historical Society proposal.
I move we accept the COA as presented.
The
I
second,
second.
Oh, you second.
Um,
Go ahead. Oh, I can't.
I heard Nancy as a second and Greg
Yeah.
as.
I
motion.
can't. No.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Who wants to
So
put a
Nancy
motion?
seconding that. I'll open it up for discussion.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson put it in here.
Think it looks good.
Very detailed here. I think it looks
Yep.
good too.
Definitely will look
Um,
better than the existing plywood.
Looks like a
True.
great project, Regan.
Yeah. And congratulations on all the funding there. So this is,
Mm.
this property should really come into its own here. So this
I
is,
need to
We,
get,
we acquired, the Society of the Founders bought this property in what, 1999, Greg?
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's, a lot has not happened with this property.
yeah, it's time.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
all
Shall we
right.
cut a
Do we have
motion?
any other discussion?
No.
Hearing none, I'll go for a vote here. And I'm gonna do this, okay, Greg Johnson,
I,
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
No, Greg, you have to abstain.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, I got a
Okay,
little
yeah,
hand up there.
Yep. Nancy,
Aye.
Jake,
Aye.
I say aye. And then Regan and Dane. Regan
will-
first, I think you're abstaining,
Yeah, I'll abstain.
and Dane,
I will abstain.
all right. I think I've got everyone there. So this COA 511 passes unanimously with a couple of abstentions. And
Yeah, well,
again, we will, I'll try to get on my new computer and see if I can get a PDF editor to get you a notification here, at least an email, but congratulations.
Mhm.
That moves us to
Thank you,
COA 512. This is the USCFS window project. I will entertain a motion.
I move we approve the application as presented.
Motion by Nancy O'Neill,
Second.
second by Jake. Okay. I'll open it up for discussion.
seems pretty straightforward. It seems like an improvement over an upgrade to what we had approved previously.
Exactly,
Mm. Mhm.
exactly. And we know that they're
Windows
gonna do
are
a bang up
nightmares.
job based on what they started. I think the only thing, again, was the time frame. But we obviously, as long as they can start, that's good. I think that was one of the concerns before, but that worked in our favor since they were making most of these changes here to be consistent with the others. So hopefully we can get this completed.
Mm.
Yeah, it looks
Any
good.
other discussion? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm just gonna say it looks good, and I think I like that they are moving towards 6/6 for the whole building, so I think that's great.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Hearing no other discussion, I will go for a vote. Jake,
Aye.
Greg Johnson,
I,
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Regan,
I,
Nancy,
Aye.
Dane,
Yes.
and I vote yes, passes unanimously. I will send
Yeah.
out notification. And now that leads us to COA 513. This is 16 Huntington Lane, the generator.
Mhm.
I'll entertain a motion.
I move
Move
to
to
accept it as
accept it as-
presented.
Was that Greg Farlow?
That was me. That was Dane.
Oh, I'm
It was
sorry.
Dane.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Dan.
Dane, yeah,
Excuse me.
I'm mute.
All right. And do I have a second?
I'll second
I'll
that.
second it.
Okay.
I
you
got
want Nancy?
I got Greg Farlow seconding that. and
Okay, thank
Dane's
you. Yeah,
motion.
one.
We will open it up for discussion.
I mean, it almost doesn't even seem like something that needs to come before the committee because it's in the back. You can't see it from any place except in the back of their house.
Yeah, I think it does get covered because of the length of the house itself. You'd have to be back on that pond or with the ducks, I think, to be able to see
Hmm.
around.
Yeah, I mean, I walk my dogs down this Huntington sometimes and I can't see back behind there at all. I
Yeah.
look.
Um,
Check things out.
That said, it may not need to come before us, but I just know that when they pull a permit, and building department will may or may not make a recommendation, or they may not allow the permit until they get an okay from
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
so at any rate, this is
The sunlight.
so
Yep.
do we hear any other discussion?
Mhm.
Hearing none, I will go for a vote. Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Greg Johnson,
I
Jake,
Aye.
Regan,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Dane,
Yes.
and I say aye. Passes unanimously. Again, I'm not sure. I've got to now flip flop back. Do we have anyone still with us? Yeah, we do. So Karen and Don, congratulations, and I will send out a notification to the building department and to you on our decision here. So.
Thank
right.
you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Night, everybody.
All right. Next on our agenda, we have minutes from our February regular meeting. Hopefully
Right.
everyone got those and we're able to
Yeah.
read them.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion to
No.
accept our minutes.
I read them. Yes, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Okay. Motion by
Yeah.
Greg Farlow. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Hey, Tim, actually, I had some discussion on the minutes before we vote on them.
Okay. So
I just wanted to mention one thing, and it's not actually the minutes, but I'm not sure where you would say it, but I think, Catherine, you meant to say March 15th, and I'm reading the agenda. I don't know where we say that. But you said February 15th. I think you meant March 15th on that one, on the agenda.
Come
And
on.
the rest of it is, I thought the minutes were fine.
My question, Tim, is on the minutes under paragraph C, the chairman report. I see my name listed there as a follow-up action with you about some sconces, and I have no recollection of that being said. I remember you were going to follow up about some sconces.
you're right. I mistook that. That was Jake and I. Jake had the follow-up action with me.
Oh,
So
Oh,
correction.
that was regarding the lights over at the house?
Yes,
Gotcha.
over at-
Okay.
The lights over Vincenzo's, right?
Right,
Correct.
exactly.
so that again, that was
Jake?
reviewed. Was this that was from, I'm sorry, that says.
Yeah, that was reviewed and completed already.
Correct. And I'm trying to think, then that
It was
was
from the-
discussed in
It was
February.
from the previous meeting.
You were discussing
Before
that
the-
you went out there.
Okay.
So you were discussing that you guys had already gone out there and taken a look at them and that they were fine.
So February 15th. All right, and I'm getting myself
Not here.
confused. Well, regardless, it was not Greg Johnson. It was Jake Stahl. So that
Yes.
I did not catch that before. And so, yeah, this was just the day after the meeting. So you actually included it into the
Yeah.
minutes. So, all right.
Leak. Leak.
So we have that one change and then forgive me because my Word is not working on this old computer, but I think Nancy, you just said the agenda had a mistake
Yeah.
on that, approving March's.
I think, yeah, I just think the agenda, she meant to say March 15th and not February 15th on that document. I suppose that's going to be in the minutes next time. Well, or is it?
Honestly,
really,
I
no, it
don't
isn't.
think I need to resubmit the agenda.
No.
So I'll fix the minutes, but I don't think that's a huge deal.
Oh,
Okay.
it's not. Just noticed it.
All right. Do we have to get another motion to say we need the changes, that one change anyway, with the name?
Yes.
So I'll entertain, well, we have to vote on this, so let's just go quickly and dispose of this motion that's in front of us, and then we'll take another motion.
I think you
gotta
could
be-
just make a new motion, but that's up to you. I think it kind of complicates it by making a motion approving it and then making another motion.
Okay, so I agree too, but we can just say that this will pass with the changes. I think we could say that. We may have done that before. That
Yes.
we had the motion, we accepted the meeting minutes with the noted modifications.
Well, I think can't the person say they're requesting approval of the minutes as amended in our
Yes.
discussion?
True.
To say,
Oh.
the proper person's name,
So,
Jake instead of Greg.
yeah, so was that, it was, who made the motion? Was it Jake?
Me,
It was Greg.
yeah. Can I withdraw the motion and start from scratch? No, we don't have to go through this.
Withdraw it and make the motion as Nancy just said, that we we make a motion to accept with the amendments as noted.
Fine.
Sounds
I
like you
can't
just made
remember
that.
all that.
And then whoever seconded it last time, let's hear it again.
I second it.
All right. And we have the one change. Last Nichols, anyone else see anything else they want to
No,
update? All right, hearing none, we
done.
will, I'll go around. Jake Stahl,
Aye.
Greg Farlow,
All right,
Greg Johnson,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Regan,
Aye.
Dane,
Yes.
and I say aye. The meeting minutes are approved with the one change that was noted. All right. Geez, I think I'm kind of lax on some of these as we get into this chairman's report. I don't believe I have anything on my my list for anything on the chairman's report, although I have not heard anything back on our budget. So I will take action to investigate with Deanna, I believe, who controls our budget, and report back anything new on our budget proposal.
I'll just add that the city is doing all their budget hearings next month, so we may not hear about the budget until it's officially approved, probably in the May or June city council meeting. So we may not hear for a little while.
All right, so I may not have anything else to report on that. Does Deanna get back to us? I'm not sure if she got back to you.
Yeah,
previous
normally
years?
Deanna would normally just tell me, hey, your budget was approved, you're good to go, sort of thing. But you're welcome to send her an email, just say, hey, looking forward to hearing, if our budget's approved after, all the appropriate hearings are conducted with the city council, however you want to phrase it, just so it's in everyone's mind,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we won't hear back till probably in a few months at this point.
Okay. Leading to then old business. And I did not have anything in our old business either. I'm just gonna do. I'll say that still, Dan at the building department, I still did not have access or receive access to the permit management system, whatever they have there. I think previously we had an item come up. They wanted us to reply or put in some comment in there, and I did not have any login or password or anything to be able to get into that. So I will take that as another action item to say if they want quick action or any action, I guess, for us to weigh in. This was on potentially items that would not necessarily need approval or having to go through the full formal COA approval, but they want to be able to have something documented from us, I believe, in order to give the permit out, I guess. And something like what we just saw here with if it's a medical emergency or anything like that, of getting a generator in, and we can visually see that, or we can see that there is no nothing visual to the people here in the public way, then something might be able to be addressed without a formal COA. And the other only old business that we had there was UCFS, who came in with the new COA this time. So we're good with this one. Leading on to new business, and new business being, we did have a email came in from a concerned citizen who was questioning 2 Mediterranean Lane. I went by recently, walked around, and had noticed there was a lot of old doors out, almost made it look like there was work that had been ongoing or started again. I'm not sure if that is just seeing that or if that had been out there, but in walking by it today, seems like they are trying to do an old-fashioned tag sale. I don't know if they put in old-fashioned because they were in the historic district, but it looks like they were trying to offload some of the doors that they had there. But the reason that this came up was that I think the citizen thought that there was something going on at the house, new construction. I'm not sure I'm seeing any new construction. If you recall, this property, 2 Mediterranean, had not pulled a permit. We had not got noticed, but they had gone in and had made some changes to the windows. Eventually, when we had noticed it and found out, and it seemed to be above and beyond what maybe they had verbally said before of some restoration as opposed to replacement. But regardless, they did not have a city permit to do this. And I believe after we had talked to Attorney Driscoll, City Council, and the building department, they got a stop work order, cease and desist, and that was back, I want to say February of 2022. They had since, in talking to the building department, we had not seen any COA. They were told at the time that they had to submit a COA. Apparently in August of 2022, they tried to repull a ticket, a permit to allow work to proceed. They were told they needed a COA, and so no permit was given. We never received a COA. Don't know where the miscommunication has gone on with this, but apparently in February last month, they came back to the building department and said, well, where does it stand? Where does the historic district stand on our project? And building department told them, we don't have any COA approved on this. and which made Catherine and myself and Regan scour our backlog here, and we don't see any COA that was ever submitted by them. So I'm not sure what they missed in the February of 2022 and August of 2022 and February of 2022 that said they need a COA. But apparently they're a little bit misguided here. So I will, so the stands is we don't have anything to act on for this. I'm assuming that we would anticipate a COA that would identify what they were trying to do and whether it would be after the fact of approving any windows that may have been replaced or during that initial time period or anything else that they're proposing. We would act on it then. I'm not sure if there's anything else that we would do other than to go and somehow get in touch with the owner and say, you do understand you need a COA. I'm not sure
Hey,
what
Tim,
else. Yes,
2 Mediterranean is the house that's actually behind Regan. That's not the one on the street that has the ye old tag sale going on. That's actually, I think, 4 Mediterranean. 2 Mediterranean is a little tiny piece, a little tiny piece of property that comes over to Mediterranean. So it's the house actually over behind Reagan, almost behind UCS.
White one?
well,
Yeah,
why
that big
didn't someone
one.
shut me up while I was yapping all that time?
So, and I know that they were trying to do work on that house. I saw them do quite a bit of work. I'm sure Regan saw a bunch of work going on there. But I let you go on because I thought you were actually talking about 4 Mediterranean because they did a ton of work back when the house was bought by a contractor and then flipped it about 6 months ago. I mean, they did a ton of work on that house. I don't know if they ever got a permit or came before the board because they did a new roof. They did painting, siding. There's a ton of stuff that happened on the house at 4 Mediterranean too.
All right. Well, then I am going to maybe turn this back over to Regan to correct me. Apparently, I got my 2s and 4s and what our concerned citizen was questioning, and I thought she was questioning the wrong one here. Apparently,
And actually, just to extend the confusion a little more, the next house up the road from there, which I don't know if that's 6 or not, which is a mixture of red and primer right now. That house, I thought there was some issue with them not getting COAs for work, and that's been kind of ongoing stuff that they've been doing there.
right.
That's the one I thought we got into kind of like a scuffle with the lawyer.
So, all right, so that was the lawyer one then, the New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yeah,
New
I
York
think so.
lawyer. Yeah. All right. So Mediterranean is our problem child. And all right. Is there work being done behind you, Regan? Or is this
Not that I've
something that,
seen lately. No, not that I've seen lately. And the only thing I would clarify, Tim, is already what Greg said, that 4 Mediterranean Lane is the one right on the street and 2
Right.
Mediterranean Lane is the one behind us. So that was the only thing I would add to clarify, and just add to clarify that the timeline was February 2022, August 2022, and February 2023. So that's the only
Right.
thing I would.
so we
Just
await,
for clarification of the minutes, because this is a little confusing. So the citizen actually was commenting on the fact that the windows were replaced and they're not historically accurate. And in April 2022, Regan was the one that brought that to the attention because the fact that it is behind her home. And she had said it appeared the existing windows were replaced with new vinyl windows. And in February 2022, she had sent the new homeowners letters welcoming them to the district and outlining the regulations, and that she had met the homeowner that weekend and provided them with a copy of the design guidance and the district overview. And the homeowner told her the windows would only be repaired, not replaced, but they in fact replaced them. I just want to clarify, we are in fact talking about 2 Mediterranean Lane as the one that's the issue.
correct. So they, again, have had the cease and desist. They have not resubmitted to Mediterranean has not resubmitted or submitted a COA, but have tried to repull a work permit. So I don't know. Again, from that, I don't know what we do other than remind them that they need a COA and anticipate a COA if they want to do any work on this project. So, all right. I apologize for making that a mess in discussion as I was visually thinking of the other building here. But at any rate, we await a COA. And I did send out a email to our citizen before this this meeting, which brings us to the other item of discussion, which is while we are dwindling down or on the pandemic, it's still not over. We are having our virtual meetings. I think it's to the benefit of participation of both the commission members and the applicants themselves, and it's still could be considered a safety consideration for those who don't want to meet in person. But I am eventually we anticipated that we would at least have to entertain the idea of a in-person meeting and or a mixed meeting, in person and the Zoom. And I'm considering then, in order to open this up, I'll work with the City Hall and make sure that we still have a room available with Wi-Fi, but try to transition us over to a mixed meeting format where I certainly, now that I'm retired, I can go to City Hall and entertain those people who are not Luddites, but who cannot get on the Zoom and hold the meeting from that point, plus virtually, whoever can connect in virtually. And so so I guess I'm tossing that out. I have no desire to force anyone back into a in-person meeting. I think the virtual meetings are a benefit to all involved. And I did take a quick survey before everyone got on here with Pam, who said having it virtually is a big benefit for her contractors. So I can't imagine where the in-person, other than sometimes someone might have brought a product in, but I don't know if that was necessarily the end all be all reason to have an in-person meeting. So not sure if I'm going to open it up for discussion of what anyone feels about that proposal, that I would maintain presence in the City Hall for this meeting.
So Tim, has there been some concern raised about not having an in-person meeting, or?
Not necessarily, other than from this one person who said that it was difficult for her to navigate technology and get to the meeting. And so, and I don't know if that's the case for anyone else. I'm just saying that I'm willing to do that, in which case no one would have any reason for missing the meeting if they really wanted to be at the meeting. So
I appreciate you being willing to do that. Just mixed meetings are sometimes difficult. I participated in mixed meetings and they can be very difficult. One group or the other always seems to be disadvantaged.
I honestly don't know how many other people would be present at this. And I don't believe they have any huddled around one laptop is not all that conducive. Usually when I'm at work or whatever, we're able to display it up on a projector. So everyone in that room at least is able to see what's, not that we're even presenting here. It's just our well, everyone has a copy of the COA, so I suppose we could be presenting that, but I'm not anticipating that either. So even in person, I anticipate I would have my laptop, and whoever was there that was wanted to see the
Good deal.
COAs, I might print them out, or I'd at least have them on the screen here. But
Tim,
not
sorry, go ahead.
not trying to say anyone here from the commission would have to follow suit. I'm just making that offer. So
Good.
Tim, we could see if the building department just recently have done some renovations in the building, and their basement level is now a handicapped accessible conference room, which has the projector, the screen, the whole Wi-Fi tech setup. It was created for that very intention, basically.
Okay.
So people could do that, have meetings and present and whatnot. So maybe if our room in City Hall has since been reassigned to somebody else, then maybe we check in with the building department if we can use their space in the basement.
is that
And
normally, is that locked up, that building?
I believe if there's someone in the building, we'd have to ask them, but I believe that entrance would be unlocked, but we'd need to talk about that with them.
Mhm.
I suspect that you would be in the room by yourself, but
True.
And Tim, if this is a technology thing, I can come up with a quick reference guide that's replete with illustrations, a one pager we can send to people about the meetings. I mean, I think to open up a physical building and drive there, when we could just send them a really nice illustrated picture of how to click on the Zoom link. It's just
Well, I
my
think
opinion, but this isn't too tough to follow.
Right. I agree, but if you want to do that, that's great, and maybe Catherine can include that in the in any of the notices or
Yeah,
anything like
right.
that. So that's
there is a
obviously
dial-in. There is a dial-in number as well. You don't have to use Zoom. You could just
That's
call.
true. You can dial in. I got that.
Correct.
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tim, when you say we're coming to a time when we must consider or have to consider in person, why do we have to consider in person?
I'm maybe I misspoke when I said that. No one is saying that we must. I was just trying to take into consideration our concerned citizen who was technically challenged, I guess. But I don't think no one has come to us and said we must from the city to do that. I just remember our
Please.
previous discussions. I think Catherine had mentioned that some groups had gone to a mixed format, and I certainly don't want to go back to the previous. We all have to meet, and we will all, we'll meet in the other location. We're using technology that's being provided by the city, and I think we can continue to use that. They're providing the Zoom call until they say they're closing out that Zoom. I think we have that ability to continue in a virtual meeting.
I think you would find if you had in-person meetings, you would find more absences just to get people to it among us.
Right.
I think that could
Right.
happen more frequently. It's so
Yep.
much easier to kind of do this Zoom thing.
And
And
hopefully-
Greg is right. There's the audio. So when all else fails, even in the court system, when we have one of these, if something kind of breaks down or something, you audio in and you can still talk your way through the thing and get it finished.
Yeah.
And just a little more lightly, the lady needs to talk to her grandchild. That's what she needs to do. Bring him or her to her meeting. Yeah, there you go. And he'll show her what to do. But,
Youth shall be served. Yes. All
But
right.
it's so
Well,
much more convenient to do this. I mean, I know we did it because of the pandemic, but
Yeah.
we've kind of learned some stuff from
Stay
this
with it.
pandemic routine that. some
I
things are
agree.
easier
So
these ways,
I
you know?
anticipate all of you being able to still and wanting to still do this virtually. And so again, it's a best of both worlds. If we do have someone that wants to, they can't say, well, hey, we didn't have a permit, we didn't have an ability, even with procedures that Jake may be providing here, and or
Hmm.
the simplistic, hey, call in on the phone, and you'll be able to get that. But I'm going to make that offer. If no one ever shows up, so be it. It gets me closer to Billy Wilson's or whatever. So after this meeting, I'm able to
Hustle down to Get
take the next step after the meeting
beer and
closes.
fries.
So I anticipate then, well, when we say that the next one's certainly going to be on a specific date, April, I think it's April
Sure, next-
19th. We'll
next
definitely
meeting?
have a virtual component of that. I don't know where the
Yeah.
physical one will be, so I'll work that issue with IT and City Hall and or the building department conference room, and we can add that on to whatever the meeting notice is if it comes to fruition. If they say, no, we don't have anything for you, we've given those conference rooms away, then we'll just maintain virtual until they can
Mhm.
provide another way
Sure.
for us to. So, all right.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. Sounds
Thank
good.
you, Tim. You are a voice of reason and very, very carefully think these things through. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
No problem. All right.
Good
So
job.
I had,
our next meeting, if I'm not mistaken, our next meeting is April
19th.
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 Okay.
Patriots
hey,
Day.
Tim, I had
Lexington
one quick
Concord.
question before you close.
It is
Yeah,
Patriots Day.
But when you're
Yeah.
bringing up the things about that potentially should have COAs, I did have noticed in my walks around the neighborhood with the dogs that the house down there at the corner of across from Vincenzo's, that they had a driveway paving sign next to their driveway, so it looked like they're going to get their driveway paved.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's the old Jan and Jan's, the one that they just vacated, correct? Across the street from Vincenzo
Yeah, it's on the
on,
corner.
on Washington Street.
Yeah, I guess it's technically the driveway's on Washington. No, actually, the driveway. No,
It's
the
on-
driveway is on. That's actually East Town Street there, I think.
Canterbury going up the hill.
Yeah, East Town, that early low part.
The driveway's on East Town.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about Mike Dearborn, the one with the big backyard. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Gotcha. I have not seen that. I will double check.
Yeah,
before
they had
then.
come. I don't remember who it was. They came before the board for doing a retaining wall on the driveway.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, but I'll touch base with them.
Okay.
And before I do close this out, so again, April 19th, and before we go to adjournment, I'm going to ask for again, last nickels. Hearing none, I will take a motion for adjournment.
Come on.
Motion to
somebody.
adjourn.
Jake is motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I second.
That's Dane seconding. Just take a verbal. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We
Yeah,
are,
oh, let's keep the
we
meeting
are,
going.
we're adjourned. All
Thanks,
right.
Thank you.